Trump transition team reportedly met today in Florida, and they are already discussing who could fill some of the key positions in the next Trump administration. Our guest today reported on some of the Texans who could land new jobs in D.C. Joining us this afternoon is Taylor Goldenstein, the Austin bureau reporter for the Houston Chronicle. Taylor, welcome back to the show, and thanks again for being with us.
Of course, thank you for having me.
It is safe to assume that Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton could be in the running for something in the Trump administration. Can you talk about what President-elect Trump has talked about with Ken Paxton?
Yeah, so of the list of the people that I wrote about, he is maybe one of the only ones that Trump has directly commented on. In the past, he has called him very talented and said that he would definitely consider him for U.S. Attorney General. I haven't heard back from Paxton's camp on that, but if I had to guess, I would think that's something he'd be interested in. And we know that they have a really good relationship, the two of them, Paxton and Trump. So that's, like you said, an obvious one.
Yeah, and the last time that President Trump was here in Austin, Ken Paxton was there at that event too, we should point out. Additionally, Texas Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller is another top Trump surrogate here in the state. What has he said about potentially joining that future administration, and what could perhaps hamper those chances?
Yeah, so he's been pretty vocal about his interest in that position, and I spoke with him this week to ask if anything had changed, and he said that he's still interested. He said he loves his job right now, but that if he were asked, that he wouldn't say no. I did also ask him, like you mentioned, he has some ethical baggage that was brought up in his primary, and that involves, some Texas Rangers investigations. It also involves one of his aides being involved in well, they reached a deal recently, but one of his aides being involved with a hemp-related criminal issue. And he said that he didn't think any of that would affect his chances. He says it's all, quote, fake news.
All right, we'll have to keep tracking that one too. The story that you wrote today with reporter Jeremy Wallace, your colleague there at the Houston Chronicle, also took a look at a few other names here in Texas that possibly could be under consideration. What some of those other options might be.
Yeah, definitely. So another one would be Wesley Hunt. He's a Houston Republican. That one also, you might have seen the signs just from him stumping all over the country for President-elect Trump. Just that relationship between the two kind of would bode well, or at least he's hoping, I'm sure, would bode well for his chances of being selected for higher up position. Unclear which exactly, but definitely he's in the running. Another one to mention is Brooke Rollins. She is the president and CEO of the America First Policy Institute, and she's a Texan, Texas A&M graduate, and she's definitely a contender to be maybe chief of staff, or somewhere higher up as well, just given her influence. She formerly was CEO of the Texas Public Policy Foundation, which is a conservative think tank based out of Austin. So that could potentially be another Texas connection to the White House.
Right, a very influential group here in Texas. We'll leave our conversation there for now, Taylor, but I hope you've gotten some sleep since Tuesday night, and thank you again for joining us.
Trying. Thank you so much. You too.